So ladies and gentlemen, Turkey Tom allegations. And I just gotta say, as a commentary YouTuber, it's bound to happen. You're gonna get allegations. It's kind of like a rite of passage at this point in time for every commentary YouTuber. If you're in this game long enough, you're basically gonna get allegations thrown your way. It's only a matter of time now. Turkey Tom, of which we all know, large commentary YouTuber, is being allegated to be a sexual degenerate and deviant who's into age play, who records girls with them without their consent. Apparently, he's also being allegated to have a blackmail folder. Now, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this is all alleged, and this was submitted by a user of the channel by the name of Who's Asia. Shout out to her. So let's get into it. Now, to get started, this whole, train of allegations was posted by someone by the name of Sacramento89, and they say, "Hi, Kiwi people. I dated Tom for a few months after meeting him on Tinder. I'm not super into internet stuff and had no idea what Kiwi Farms was, but this page was always his #1 search Safari thing that pops up on his iPhone when he went to Google something. When I asked about this website, he got super defensive and weird about it. So I obviously looked into it and found all of this crazy shit, like him admitting to being bisexual. Messaged the owner, and by the way, if he's bisexual, I don't know why she's putting that out there. I feel like they're already trying to taint his image. But she says she messaged the owner of this website, Joshua Moon, to get the code to post here. Basically, I started to get suspicious about all the e-girls he's followed and interacted with, and he started raging at me." Okay, so she's mad at Turkey Tom for following a whole bunch of e-girls. You know, the Instagram girls who are essentially Belle Delphine copies on Instagram. Yeah. She also said he also lied to me at first about the fact that he does YouTube. Well, that is something that a lot of YouTubers do not want to make known to the person or people that they're dating. She also said he did some crazy shit like kicked holes in a wall at a house he was renting because some e-girl who copies Belle Delphine got hacked, and the hacker was blaming or blackmailing him with his pics. Holy shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the problem. Like, if you're gonna be, interacting with a whole bunch of girls, you're linking up with them, and you're digitally sending pictures of your schlong, you gotta understand that there's always gonna be the possibility of a hacker hacking into one of their accounts and getting access to those schlong pics. It all comes a part of the game. But she also says he continued to talk with her after the fact. I have screenshots confirming all of this, attached a couple, but I think I have more. This guy's a real freak and likes to record sexual encounters without asking first during almost every time. And guys, I just gotta say, since this is mostly a guy issue, since we are the ones mounting women, try not to actually secret. Like, if this is something you want to do, like, just make it known. Like, actually pull out your phone, let her know, hey girl, I'm about to start recording. Or even if it's just not verbal, literally let her know the phone, like the phone light should be on or visible to the point to where she knows you're about to record your POV. She also says, I know for a fact he's done this to at least one other girl. Serial gooner, she calls him, and has flown out several e-girls to sleep with. Holy shit, Tom is out here laying pipe. This man's already on his rich sugar daddy type shit while only still being in his 20s. I'm telling you, this commentary YouTube money is crazy. She also says, he told me he has a file on his computer called Just In Case that basically voice memos or calls from his exes to blackmail them with, in case, or just in case she meant, they ever say something about him. Whoa, that is, Tom, you're a very naughty boy. She also said, thought I would get the message out and confirm y'all's suspicions. Also, if this gets out, to warn other young women in the Texas area about this dude. In here, as you can see, is an image of Turkey Tom. We all know, at least are aware of his platform. If you've never seen his face before, this is him. And I suppose the girl who typed this message up, her face is basically blacked out though. Tom, what is going on, guy? What's up with the blackmail folder? Allegedly. What's up with filming girls that are completely oblivious? Guys, with me, I don't like secrets at all. Any girl I'm like, she's gonna know everything I'm doing. I'm a very transparent person. I like people to have, autonomy and the freedom of choice to do what they want. That's just me. That's my my mentality, my preference. In fact, if I really want to get the whole scene, I'm gonna have a whole tripod. Mount a 4K camera. Fuck it. Might just get the whole film crew in this bitch if I really want to. I'm partially joking, but yeah, with the secrets, if true, this is not good, Turkey Tom.
But they also included these text messages.
All right, so we have more text messages here, and shout out to fellow YouTuber Cam Nuggets for this coverage. Appreciate you, brother. In here, as you can see, she messaged Tom, I think over iMessage or some shit. Could be Twitter, since they have similar formats, but she said everything good to Tom. He said, I don't know, I'll explain later. It has nothing to do with you. She then said, oh shit, scale of 1 to 10, how bad? He then said, very. She said, oh, I'm so sorry. He then said, an ex of mine got hacked, basically, and some stuff is probably going to be dropped online. Photos, they emailed my family. So basically the hackers, as we explained before, started emailing him and I guess trying to blackmail him with pics of photos that he sent to his ex-girl. And this is, guys, this is why if you're gonna send this type of shit, it needs to be sent on vanish mode. And ladies, please, if you're gonna be saving photos of your ex pics, I know some people have a whole collage collection of boyfriend 1, 2, 3, 4, up to dozens. I get it, but please tighten up on your security. Like, because if you ever get hacked, everybody else is gonna get exposed. Like, I'm super on top of my security. You should be too. But yeah, he says they emailed my family. I mean, imagine a pic of your being sent to your mom. Holy shit. She then said, oh, bruh, it's okay. He said, is it? She said, I have no idea. This has never happened to me. So far, the only thing in these allegations, Turkey Tom has been, I guess, slandered by as being a gooner, following a whole bunch of e-girls who look like Belle Delphine on Instagram, allegedly recording girls from his POV without their consent, which I don't, advocate for. Possibly being bisexual. I mean, who cares? And flying chicks out from different states, which, I mean, again, like, that's his business, his prerogative. I mean, not every girl you're gonna be interested in is gonna be in the same, like, state or country as you, and if you have the money to bring her to you, why not? As long as all parties are consenting, I don't see the problem.
Now, this person, Kosher Farms, says if this is true, and assuming you two met up, do you believe that Tom recorded you without your consent? More pressingly, can you provide more than a censored selfie and 2 text messages as proof of you dating Tom? Things that'll help us verify you, like his Tinder profile or text messages, or anything anecdotal we can cross-examine with his internet presence. Most people here will be rightfully skeptical of claims like this being made against notable e-celebs. Without thorough evidence, more is always better.
And I gotta say, I agree wholeheartedly from this person on Kiwi Farms, because we just gotta understand the average person nowadays who are gonna make these allegations are just certified clout chasers, bro. Like, they'll just make up a whole bunch of allegations that are either wholly wrong or just completely exaggerated to make the person that they're allegating against either bend to their will, pay them out some kind of settle fee, or just to try and embarrass them and gain clout, views, and followers to their own page, because hey, they're evil bastards. I'm not saying that this is what this person is doing entirely, but it's 2 things can be true at the same time. Some of these allegations can't be true while this person's trying to clout chase. But in this day and age, I gotta say, yeah, definitely, we do need more evidence and, material proving the allegations of whatever is being brought forth from the alligator before trying to destroy someone's life and their livelihood and their career. I think we've had enough time to learn from our mistakes in the past.
And then right here, Herbicide says, I understand that. Since you're already in contact with Noel for a code, he also privately verifies people's identities. It looks like you want to stay anonymous. I don't know if he could privately verify that you guys were together without saying exactly who you are. Not to scare you, but if Tom's reading this, he probably knows who you are from the censored photo and messages already.
Definitely. Obviously, any guy taking a picture with a girl that he's with temporarily is gonna know where and when this place of which this photo was taken at occurred. And to me, this photo looks kind of photoshopped. I don't know if it's just the lighting. It kind of feels like this head of Turkey Time was like edited onto the body of another man. I don't know. Seems kind of fabricated, just to my eyes. But moving on. However, she goes on to say in this thread, I'm not alleging anything illegal or saying it was revenge corn or anything. What I meant was he wouldn't ask before and proceed to take his phone out mid-actual activity to film. I sometimes wouldn't notice till like 15 to 30 seconds after he started filming. Again, guys, make it known before you start doing this. Additionally, she said, I have no idea if this is illegal or not, but yeah, he wouldn't ask before. She also said, reached out to an ex-girlfriend of his. He would do the same thing to her, so she reached out to an ex of his. The blackmail he has on his computer is phone calls and texts, I believe. Most of them are from his ex-girlfriend named Kai, so most of these are phone calls and texts, not actual, like, I guess, content he filmed while being intimate. Just to clear that up for anybody, just based off of what I'm reading here. She also said, here is a picture from when we matched on Tinder. Don't have the messages from when we matched anymore, and wasn't aware people still used Tinder. And here is that screenshot of her matching with Tom, and yeah, that is definitely Turkey Tom right here, as you can see. Buddy was out here flexing his little bicep in the pic. That's funny, bro. It's good to see young men, starting to participate more in weightlifting. You love to see it.
Honestly, Kosher Farm says, what's your main reason for posting to this thread? Why did you and Tom break up? Also post more screenshots. Sacramento says, the main reason I'm posting to this thread is to kind of warn people, mostly women, about this guy. The reason we broke up is actually because I mentioned this website to him and that I saw some crazy stuff about him online. His history with e-girls bothered me. His pic about the Belle Delphine type girl who was hacked. I'm suspicious of cheating because he did not block her after the fact, and apparently she was still talking to him.
Okay, so it seems to me that Turkey Tom seems to be bothered by his online presence, and I understand this this can, impact a lot of creators' dating lives, right? And private lives and friends and family and everything else in between, right? But it all comes up, it comes with the territory. And this is why if you're going to be in this lane, online, you just got to stand 10 toes down with, whatever you say online. It is what it is. You got to understand that your friends, your family members, and people who know you in real life are going to see whatever the hell you're talking about. So if that bothers you, then I guess probably stay anonymous. But even then, people are going to start to recognize your voice if you do have a recognizable voice, and they're going to start being suspicious. So it's just like, damn, this whole double life of you trying to live a normal life while also being a famous content creator online, it's in the long run, it's not going to work. And if your girlfriend who you started, dating or whatever, who isn't aware of your online presence starts to figure shit out and that bothers you, then maybe it's about time you have an honest conversation about the content you make online. Personally, me, I don't give a flying fuck. Pretty much all my friends and family members know exactly what I do online. If they have a problem with it, then that's pretty much a personal problem with themselves and God. They can leave me out of that because I'm going to continue to do what I do best. And that's yap on the internet for a living.
Now here we get into some more serious allegations. These ones involve abuse.
Of which I'm going to read for you guys right now. She said, in response to someone on Kiwi Farms asking her, do you have any evidence he flew out e-girls to sleep with? Did he tell you this or did you discover this somehow? Was it during your relationship? Then she said, told me this. It was before our relationship. To my knowledge, not during. He was hella careful about texting stuff, but I reached out to one of his exes I knew he was with. She's like an e-girl type and she confirmed it. She has more evidence than I do. Sent me pictures of her face being bruised after going to meet up with him, which is a crazy ass allegation. Listen guys, if a girl links up with you and you guys do your thing and she leaves that interaction with a bruise on her face, bro, optically, it does not look good. Even if it was just rough and it was all consensual, just optically, bro, just understand in the court of public opinion, bro, you're pretty much cooked. Now to reiterate, these are just all allegations. I have no hard concrete proof. I don't think anybody has any hard concrete proof yet. And as far as I can tell, no other major commentary channels on this platform at least have even talked about these allegations aside from Cam Nuggets. And I just gotta say, it is funny how, we as commentary YouTubers, we make drama content, talking about allegations on everybody else and all these other individuals. And then next thing you know, we're getting allegations thrown our way. And then we end up being talked about on other people's channels. It's like, it just comes full circle, man. It's like a snake eating itself. It's fucking hilarious, actually.
I'm going to keep going over what Sacramento ended up posting about now possible allegations of Tom messing around with girls who are into things like age play. So we're starting to get into the thick of it, I say. Now, this guy named Blue Kerbo said, has he ever dated any of those age play girls? I saw him follow a couple a while ago.
And then she said, the girl he sent D-pics to and got hacked was an age play Belle Delphine type girl. So basically those girls who dress up as like kawaii schoolgirls on Instagram. We all know the type. She said, I sent the screenshots about the blackmailer guy here earlier. He told me he went to meet up with her, but was too weirded out and went back home. Her account has been posted in this thread before, I believe. It's Creepy Hoarder. And then I'm going to show you guys what this Creepy Hoarder girl looks like. And I am now currently on her page, Creepy Hoarder. As you can see, she's like one of these anime kawaii girls. And as you can see, these are her photos right here and stuff like that. We're all used to it, Hello Kitty aesthetic, etc. Pink, white, the cutesy little girl type aesthetic. And personally, me, I don't, it's not really my thing. I don't really care if guys are into this. She's a fully grown adult. She can do whatever she wants. I know it was a big thing in like the early 20s with the girls doing the little baby voice and crossing their eyes, like the Belle Delphine types, and it does nothing for me. I'm gonna be honest, but essentially this is what they're trying to say Turkey Tom is into, and are trying to use this as an allegation to slander him with. I don't know if Turkey Tom has slandered anybody in his past videos or documentaries, like video essays about being into age play, if he's like slandered them about being into age play, and then him all of a sudden being into this stuff. It is a bit ironic and hypocritical. And yeah, again, like the commentary community is full of hypocrisy, I guess.
It doesn't really mention anywhere here. Now this guy Jandal ended up looking into this Creepy Hoarder girl, and she has a whole bunch of other controversies and things that I don't really want to get into this video because almost 100% it'll get age restricted. Basically, she draws things like lollipop stuff, like the stuff Shadman used to draw. Apparently, she took advantage of one of her exes. She visits lollipop websites as well. There's a picture of her wearing a Bluey outfit.
So, okay, well, with all the implications here, yeah, typical type behavior for people into age play. And yeah, I'm not shocked or surprised in the least. Honestly, a lot of this, I would say, it stems from arrested development people who can't fully mature. Like they just hold on to like immature, childlike state of mind. Not saying everybody in this particular type of aesthetic or community thinks like that, but it does seem like a very common personality trait or behavioral trait.
Like, I can acknowledge, right? Like, this is hot. She looks good, right? Like, her body looks nice. Like, this is clearly an adult with an adult body with an adult butt. But her history, the things that she engages in, it's not exactly a good look. And you know, Tom choosing to interact with that is, again, his prerogative, but eventually her history, the things that she does, is going to be linked to him, kind of like we saw with like Mudahar or Nuxtaku and anyone who involves themselves in messing around with this Shadman lollipop type stuff.
Exactly. So you just gotta, you know, as a creator, you know, you have to be very careful about your optics and who you are publicly associated with. Now, this was behind the scenes until recently, and this has all been leaked. And see, that's another entirely different situation or conversation to be had about how you treat certain people in your private life, because if you're intimate with them, you're sharing all kinds of information with them, and then something happens, right? A falling out, a not peaceful departure, you know, people will feel scorned and they will use the knowledge that they've gathered about you to then slander and allegate things about you that either may not be true or just may be wholly exaggerated, which can impact your entire career, your livelihood, you know? And this is the situation Turkey Tom seems to be wrapped up in now.
People involved in this situation. But Spooky says, sorry to hear this happen to you. Sounds like typical corn addicted gooner behavior. Does he have a gorn addiction? Was he into harder stuff? And if yes, when did you find out? Sacramento says he told me he was a corn addict in the past, but quit a couple years ago. I believe he replaced his corn addiction with filming other women during sex because he was unable to finish most of the time during sex, but only through watching the videos he would take. As soon as I confronted him about what I had seen about him online, he wasn't able to maintain an erection, and I think sex is just a huge ego thing.
Whoa, shit. Tom, what the Hey, well, that's a whole other, you know, issue with his psychology and his biology, bro. You gotta, if you can't, you know, wrap things up with, you know, a woman without needing to watch it back on the phone, maybe that's why he was filming his POVs. That is crazy, bro. Like, this is one of the issues with long-term chronic gooner addiction. Like, guys, man, half the male population needs to be cut off from, like, watching internet explicit content because it really has messed up the minds of a lot of, like, young men. Even older men. And it does over time lead to other extreme hobbies or addictions and behaviors, which can manifest into borderline illegal / abusive type behavior. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, understand these are just all allegations, obviously, you know, posted by, I guess, supposedly one of his former exes. Obviously, always take everything with a grain of salt without hard proof. But yeah, man, it's not looking too good for Tom. And hopefully he can speak out about this pretty soon to clear his name, you know, or provide some insight for the people who watch his content. Honestly, yeah. Guys, if you're a public figure or creator, influencer, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, man, clean shit up behind the scenes before it, you know, spills out into the public.